Sal, can you read a person just by looking at them? Can you tell what they're thinking by the way they hold their hands, move their eyes? Most people can't. But if you truly want to master selling, you have to master body language.
No matter what you're selling, you can't just listen to what the other person is telling you. You've got to see what they're telling you as well. Every thought, every emotion a person tries to lock away inside is revealed in a hidden language of gesture, posture, and facial expressions. And the woman who knows the code better than anyone is Janine Driver, the human lie detector, who spent more than a decade with the Department of Justice and trained more than 30,000 police officers in how to listen with their eyes.
All right, Janine, how important is this whole body language thing?
It's crucial. 93% of what we communicate with others, Donnie, is nonverbal. 93%. Your producer freaked out. He's like, 93%, 93% nonverbal.
Okay, so let's put some of that to test. Let's say I'm in a sale with someone, I'm selling something. What are the signs, the nonverbal signs, it's not working? It just ain't hitting.
It's not working, so you want to look for something, a deviation in their normal behavior. So if they're giving you about 60% eye contact, now they give you 80, it's like, you got to be kidding me. Right. Or they go from 60 to 40, it's like, I could be someplace else. They might touch their face. Another big hot spot is, I call it the belly button rule, Donnie. We face our belly button to the person we're most attracted to. So all of a sudden, you're trying to pitch me. I keep looking at you, but my belly button turns and faces a door or an exit. I'm giving you what's called a cold shoulder, Donnie, and that's the last thing I want to do right now, so I'm going to move right back.
I love that. I love that. Okay, let's see how we can use some of these things to benefit selling, almost kind of for ourselves selling in. You talk about 3 zones must be open to properly use our body to sell.
Oh, yeah, you had those zones open a second ago there, right? So we have
I just crossed my legs. I don't know what the hell that means, but okay.
You close the bits. So we have the throat right here. It's called a neck dimple, and that's vulnerability. When people are deceptive, they'll do this. So if you're a parent at home and your kids, you ask them questions, they start doing this. Or you ask your boss for a raise, and your boss goes, a raise, and they start touching your throat. It's not going to happen. So the throat, the belly button, right? I said this belly button rule. And what I call the naughty bit area, it's the naughty bits. You want to make sure those bits are open. Is it naughty or naughty?
How do you spell naughty?
Is it naughty or naughty? I mean,
you also talk about nose wrinkles, say a lot.
Yeah, nose wrinkle is disgust. This is a kiss of death. If you are talking to someone, I don't care if it's your kid, you're on a job interview, and the interviewing or hiring manager leaks this, like, oh, your resume is really interesting. It's a micro expression of disgust. Another one is contempt. This is contempt. Blink, in the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, he talks about contempt, that a marriage ends if you see contempt. Well, if you look at this as a relationship, this is, if you see contempt or disgust, this relationship's not going to go any further.
Okay, we talked earlier how important honesty is in selling. What are the honest tells physically if somebody is selling to know they're being honest or even kind of responding?
During establishing rapport section, while I'm establishing rapport, a lot of people were talking about already, you know, you be yourself, establish this rapport, find a commonality. Look at you right here. You have a broadside display. This is becoming bigger than you are right now. Sending me the message, you are the host of the show. Your bits are showing, right?
How about this? What's
that mean? But this is very powerful. If all of a sudden you close up, that's a deviation in your normal behavior. That would be what I call a hot spot. So what you're looking for is with someone who's believing you are some head nods, their body language is open. Sometimes people will say, well, mirroring. Should you mirror? Well, if someone's close, should you mirror their body language? No. You should hand them a glass of water, hand them a piece of paper. Look at this. I want to show you something here for a second. Get them to open up to you because that's where the magic happens.
So let's take it on the proactive side now. If I'm walking into a room, what do you think are the most important physical signs to send out, moves to make that are going to send positive selling signals?
In less than 30 seconds, studies have been done, less than 30 seconds, hiring managers and recruiters know if you're the person for the job or not. After 30 seconds, they either help you through the interview or they don't help you through the interview. They help you through the door. So if you look at any relationship you have, whether you're trying to influence someone, whether you're trying to get the upper hand in any situation, you always want to make sure that you're open, you're sincere, and that you're establishing this rapport right from the get-go. A handshake. Bill Clinton. I just analyzed Bill Clinton's handshake for a 2-hour documentary for the History Channel. Know what the magic is? As he shakes your hand, his belly button is towards you.
Well, we know that, don't we? Right. The old naughty bit thing, right?
He never gives you the cold shoulder. This is the cold shoulder. Nice to meet you. Bill always has the belly button facing you. And when he goes to meet the next person, he doesn't do this. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. He hangs here like, hey, I hate to let you go. As he walks to the next person and shakes his hand.
Yeah. Okay, David, though, is that manipulative, though?
It's not manipulative at all. It's simply taking advantage of what our natural inclinations are. Another very powerful technique like that is standing in a doorway, framing yourself. We tend to view people more favorably when we see them in a frame. It's how we're used to accepting people. Not manipulative at all, but very effective.
Michael, how about in some of the specific things? We hear a lot about handshakes and this and move. Tell me some 101 on using my body, using my eyes, using the naughty bits, all the stuff I'm supposed to do. Is that what it is? Naughty bits?
Yeah, that's naughty bits.
I'm sorry. I'm going to keep this on track. I don't know what sorry.
Breathe.
It does start with a K.
Breathe.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. Your breath is the way in to relaxation. And if you're holding your breath, you're going to be like this and presenting. Breathe. Just relax.
And this is all about building a relationship, Donnie. I mean, selling is really consumer seduction. You're trying to develop a relationship that people want to be in. They want to engage with you, and they want to continue. And the way you do that is by being proactive with all of these things, especially your body language. Leveraging it preemptively and leveraging it continually creates the seduction and carries it on.
I want to go back to something we talked on earlier with Don, and I want to ask Janine this question. How is somebody who is not confident by nature, who's not outgoing by nature, how can they use their body to kind of help them send off a more positive, inviting sign?
I have a 3-year-old son at home, Angus, right? He's going to turn 3 in a couple of weeks. God love him. You have a child of your own, right? They're so fun. Kids, they play this little game. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. If you are the type of person that gets nervous, what happens is you miss out on body language signs, because nervous people, studies have been done, they tend to be looking down and in self-talk a lot. So they're missing powerful 93% of the message they're missing because they're looking down. Think head, shoulders, knees and toes. I want them open. Keep my 3 zones, my throat, my belly button, the bits. Keep them all open. Do some head nods. Pay attention. Listen with your eyes.
Okay, guys, switching gears for a second. Is there a difference between a male selling to a male and a female selling to a female and vice versa? How much do you use, I'm not talking in an inappropriate way, opposite sex stuff in a sale?
You absolutely have to use it a lot. I mean, I think that if you're selling opposite sex to opposite sex, you need to make people comfortable. You need to make them engaged. And if you're selling man to man, oftentimes it's still a seduction. But at the same time, you're trying to get people to be more comfortable with you and to find that way. So by doing simple things that make it easy for them to connect with you, the question you just asked her, wear a uniform. A suit is a uniform. See, one of the big killers of corporate sales is business casual. Because when you walk into a room of business casual, and then Donnie, you walk in, one of the things that I've seen you do that opened my mind when I was watching your career in advertising is how creative you got with the kind of ideas that you brought to the table. But you didn't bring them there as a clown. You brought them there as a highly trained professional who looked the part and said, listen, I'm going to demonstrate something to you that you've never expected before. It gets people interested. It gets them excited. And interested, excited people buy things.
Okay, here are the playbook plays on reading body language. 93% of everything we communicate is nonverbal. We face our belly button to the person we most like. That's we're going to do a whole show on that, by the way. Any major deviation, eye contact is a warning sign that something is wrong. Watch out for the wrinkled nose and the cold shoulder. Okay, there are too many of these to list them all. Check out our website, bigidea.cnbc.com, for all our body language tips, including the naughty bits. More big ideas.
For most of us, the biggest sale we'll ever make is selling ourselves. And the most important customer you'll ever have is you.
What quality would help you most to become better at selling? Self-confidence, authenticity, passion, the gift of gab. Go to bigidea.cnbc.com and cast your vote.